Week 3! I'm kind of just continuing on with the character bios so that I have something to reference. I'm kind of reading through my planned plot outlines for like the rest of the book series so that I know exactly what I've got to be kind of thinking about. I guess it's just more of the same as like yesterday, so let's get a time lapse started. No, not me. On day 16, realizing that I have 50 minutes left to do 40 minutes of editing. But yeah, so I decided to do my scene by scene, kind of go through, check everything out, make sure that everything is in like some kind of order that makes sense. So we're gonna see how that goes over time. Well, I did it. I mean, with a few minutes to spare, yes, but it is done. I reached my goal. We'll just have to see about tomorrow. Hopefully I can get a few things done tomorrow. That I am just kind of going scene by scene and figuring out, hey, what's necessary? We'll figure out what's necessary on day 17. So I guess it is now day 17, which means that I've got to kind of figure out something to, like, do. I'm probably going to stick with, like, this scene by scene kind of thing that I've been doing recently, which has pretty much just been looking at each scene, looking at the character's progression within each scene. Makes sense, because I feel like at this point I've got their progression over the course of the novel fairly straightforward. I think I've got the pacing at an okay spot. It's more just going to be now looking through individual scenes to figure out if the scene just makes sense as a scene. And then after this run, I'm gonna... Well, at this point it's practically going to be rewriting quite a large chunk of the novel, which is fine, and I was kind of expecting to have to do this at some point, and honestly I think that I like... Now that I've figured out my editing process a lot better, I think that I like doing all the rewriting at the end anyway. So yeah, we'll see how it goes over like the next probably 14 days. After today there's only 14 days left of camp. But hopefully this kind of schedule will inspire me to keep going with the editing. Let's go do the productivity. I'd also like to point out that my mug kind of matches my shirt. Which was totally, like, by an obvious choice. But hey, we match. Was which 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 was yes, I did actually do what I was supposed to do yesterday, and that is, I did the right amount of time, but I'm really starting to notice that I'm actually not feeling that confident in this stage of edits specifically, because I feel like I'm just not making enough progress or doing enough of anything to realistically justify how much time I'm spending on it. It's probably a very necessary part of the editing process. It's just I feel like I'm literally just rereading again and again. So it's kind of like, oh, I've just been rereading and slightly making some changes, and I'm getting to a point where I don't know if I'm stale on my own material. And that is starting to be a problem. Because if I'm getting stale on my own material, that means that I'm probably getting complacent in this round of Camp NaNoWriMo. But we'll see. I think there's a war that's starting very soon, so I might join that and try to get some things done. Hopefully not get too stale on my own project, and be able to make some constructive changes rather than just changes that I think need to happen. We'll see if I can remotivate myself at any point in the next 12 and a bit days. Yay, we've made it to day 20. And I feel like I'm kind of just... Well, every day I seem to get later and later in when I actually start tackling my 60 minutes. It's like 10 at night now. Maybe I'm just so used to going on a steady on kind of pace where I'm just for like an hour, and then I'm just like for the rest of the entire 24-hour period surrounding. My main takeaway from what I could say is going on right at this very minute is it's not that there's a particular problem with this story, it's more I'm unconfident that I'm doing much to change it at this point in time. I know when I finish this round that's going to be like line edit time, but until then I'm kind of just not making as many changes as I thought I possibly could be. I have like yesterday I did actually cut like 800 words or so. I didn't cut any particular scene, I was just cutting sections that I was like, okay, that's not actually working, that's not working, that's not working, but I would leave like the parts that were working. So I'd kind of just take out like the middle piece if I felt like it wasn't written well enough to justify it being there. So I guess this is kind of the clean before I do the major like rundown of what I need to do. We will see what ends up happening, and it's probably not going to be until next week's vlog. I suppose the most notable thing about today is that it's the end of the week. I've still got a couple of days left on this round of edits, so I'll probably talk about this again at the beginning of next vlog. But I'm about probably 2/3 of the way through this round, and I feel like I'm just removing some more like bridging that I'm gonna have to replace in the rewrite, because it just doesn't make any sense. And I think that when I was writing the first draft I was stringing together things as quickly as I could, because I was like in the middle of like word wars or just trying to get something to make sense, so that I could move on to the next point that I know that I had to tackle. It's mostly just been a process of trying to figure out, okay, what's next and what's next and what's next. The good news is that once I get onto line edits, it should be so much more easy to feel like once the month is up that I don't have to stop just because the month is up. So in a sense, doing all of the work before getting to line edits has actually been a really good decision for kind of my process, and also making sure that I don't just put my pen down and don't pick it up for a few months at the end of July. About to start a 1 hour war. Whole 60 minutes. We'll see how well this goes, and we'll see how much I can actually get through in an hour. You'll see me working, and I'll talk to you on the other side. So that was an hour. I kind of can't believe I actually did it. Mostly because I'm usually not the kind of person that can just do an hour. I mean, look, there were probably a couple of moments there where I was just like, okay, quick breather, and then kind of just went straight back to it. But that's fine. Let's put my total in. So, managed to do a whole 60 minutes all at once, which is great. I've probably got like half an hour or so of work in this round of edits to do. I will update you on that tomorrow. However, this is now day 21, which means that it's kind of the end of week 3. Because I was having trouble motivating myself like over the last couple of weeks, I'm kind of just thinking, am I still going to stick to 60 minutes a day? Currently, yes. Currently, I've found that giving myself 60 minutes a day makes me want to do more than I kind of could be doing. But also 60 minutes a day is constant enough that I'm just focusing on making the time to do it. Which, honestly, is all I want. I just want to feel like I have the time to do this. How is everyone tracking on your goal if you're watching? And furthermore, was your goal realistic for what you think you actually wanted to achieve? Because it's now 21 days after the beginning. We're kind of heading into the last third, which is why I kind of want to ask, do you think the goal that you set is realistic for what you wanted to achieve out of this Camp NaNoWriMo? But knowing that I can commit an hour to this every day has really helped me with my goal. Just doing writing every day and not feeling like I have to measure a specific amount of words or anything, which is interesting because I'd say that I don't like, not measuring words, and I much prefer measuring words because that's a finite thing. Like, how can I measure a minute and make sure that I'm doing that minute? But you know what? It's new, it's different, and I kind of like it when I'm doing editing. So I will keep that in mind for editing, but I'm not going to do this one in first drafting. Okay, so I'm editing at the moment, and I thought that I'd just take a small moment out of the vlog. I want to shout out a certain fundraiser that's happening this week. So one of my really close Rimo friends, and one of the people in my region, has suffered a rather sudden loss, and because it's sudden, they don't have the funds to pay for the funeral. So if you're watching and you have just a few spare dollars, if you could please donate to the link that I have below, that would be very heavily appreciated. I've donated as much as I could at the time. I'm probably going to be making a second donation as soon as I get paid next. But yeah, thank you if you do decide to donate on behalf of my Rimo friend and region member. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share if you want, and I'll see you guys next week.